Hi, I'm Emma from Chichester Slings, and today I'm going to show you how to put on a stretchy wrap that you can use from newborn until your baby's approximately £15-ish. Most people find when their baby gets to be sort of between 4 and 6 months that they start to find one of the kind of budget stretchy wraps that I'm going to show you today starts to not feel as supportive. Some of the other brands of stretchy wrap and the hybrid stretchy wraps will last a little bit longer, but stretchy wraps are really great for newborns. You can put it on, so it's a pre-tied sling, and then you can pop baby in and out of it without having to take it off and retie it every time. So I'm going to start with my stretchy wrap, and they all have a middle marker, and it's normally sort of a washing instruction label. I'm going to start with this in the middle, and I'm going to put it across like that. The way to remember how to put on a stretchy wrap is that it's a hug and 2 kisses. So it's going to go straight across, and then it's going to be across on the back, so your first kiss, and then across at the front, which is the second kiss. So this part's my hug. This part is going to become the seatbelt. So then I'm going to cross it behind me. As you can see, I've left the material really spread out across my back and the tops of my shoulder blades, and this will distribute baby's weight really nicely. Now that I've got these bits at the front, I am going to gather it all up and pop it down in between there like that. At this stage now, you want this bit to stay reasonably tight, so you can always just give it a little tighten up by pulling on the shoulders like that and just feeding the extra through. Now I'm going to make my second cross, which is going to be on the front like this. Wherever this cross sits will be where baby's bum's going to be. So sort of tie it once, pop your baby in, see how high their torso is to see where their head comes to, and then you can readjust the cross next time you put them in it if they're either too high or too low. So I'm going to have the cross about there to start with, and then I'm just going to tie it in a double knot behind my back. That's on, so that is a hug and 2 kisses. Now I'm just going to move the seatbelt part out of the way like that, so you can see I've got my cross here. And I'm going to pop baby in to show you. I've got my demo doll with me today, and this is Barry, and he's going to be my newborn demo doll today. So to pop baby in, you pop baby up onto your shoulder in the burping position, and I'm going to put him first of all through the part of the stretchy wrap that is nearest to me. So you can see this one is my outside bit, yeah, and then I've got my inside one here. So I'm just going to pull that out a little bit so that I can slide him across my chest and into it, and it's going to cover his bum, come up his back, and his little foot's going to be sticking out there. If you've got a really newborn baby, their legs will be kind of froggied up like that, and then once they start to unfurl a bit, their legs will kind of be in a bit more of a unfolded position. So that's him in one side. I'm now going to swap hands, and I'm going to get the material from this side, and I'm going to pull that out around his leg as well. So I'm always moving the sling rather than moving him. And again, I'm going to spread it over his bottom and up his back like that. And as the babies get a little bit bigger, and you've got more of sort of a platform to sit them on, so you're actually spreading this material out across the backs of their thighs as well. When they're really newborn and their legs are froggied up, it's going to be kind of under their bum, and it'll kind of, if their legs are froggied up, naturally kind of be up like that. But when they're a little bit older, you're kind of creating a platform where their bum is down in the sling and the material is also supporting them along the backs of their thighs. So he's in there like that, and then I'm going to get the seatbelt and I'm going to pull that up and over his legs like that, and then bring it up there like that. His little legs are there. If it's really cold weather, you can always go like that and give him a little extra layer of protection on his feet. But if it's hot weather, you can have it like that. If you've got a really little newborn who hasn't got any head control and they really like to go like this, you can always take a muslin and just roll it into the top part of this here, and that just gives them a little bit of something on the back of their neck just to kind of encourage them to not do this. It's difficult to breathe when you've got your head back like that, in the same way that it's difficult to breathe if you've got your chin tucked down onto your chest like this. So we want to encourage them to have their head in sort of a natural, clear airway position. Once he's in like that, what I can do, say he's fallen asleep facing that way, I can fold back this shoulder onto itself like this, which has created a nice bit of open airway just there. And if he's asleep, I can just sort of use that on the back of his head. So if I was in the supermarket and I wanted to bend down and pick something up from the bottom shelf, I can bend down like that and pick him up, and he's got that extra little bit of support on his head. And in exactly the same way, if he fell asleep that way round, I would just do exactly the same with the other arm like that. And again, I can use that for his head. Babies quite often like to just face plant in the middle of your chest, and it's quite good if you can just sort of gently encourage their head to face one way or the other so that they've got that nice clear airway. And it's just really handy to be able to tuck that back like that so that they've got that breathing room. And so that's him in the Stretchy wrap. If I want to take him out, what I'm going to do first is peel down the seatbelt part. The seatbelt part is mainly to stop the material kind of spreading open like that if he suddenly moves backwards. So you can kind of see that potentially it could kind of peel open like that, and the seatbelt part just stops it doing that. Now I'm going to put my hand under his bum to take his weight, and the other hand I'm just going to slide across and bring the sling out and around his leg, and then swap hands, and that hand's now going to actually be against him rather than the sling, and again peel that off round his leg. So again, I'm not moving his leg, I'm moving the material round him. And now he's out of there and I can lift him up. I can change his nappy or give him a feed, whatever I need to do. And then this is already pre-tied. I could pop him back in again if I wanted to. Just like that. And he can be back in there again like that. So it's really simple and straightforward just to pop them in and out. You can put the sling on before you get in the car, so you're not having to try and tie it stood next to the car in a car park. When you get to where you're going to, you can take them straight from the car seat and put them in the sling, and that's particularly good if it's a bit muddy on the floor, or a bit wet and you don't want the sling to get all muddy and wet. And it's just really easy to pop them in and out, which is why Stretchy wraps are so lovely for newborns. And any other questions, just leave a comment under here. Thank you very much.